Look, man, Blu Exile dropped Below the Heavens in 2007. That's all the intro you need. Go listen to Below the Heavens, go listen to it again, inject it in your veins, and now you know I'm excited for the album. If you want me to say something else, I think Blu is in the conversation for best rapper alive in the late 2000s, early 2010 time frame. Got on a major label, they start screwing him around. No Diddy. They wouldn't let him drop albums. Now all of a sudden he off the label and he creating more projects than Section 8. It's like magic. These two definitely got the skill to drop another classic. Let's get to it.
Love is blue, love is blue.
Drinking game. Every time you have a blue name flip, take a shot.
Aiming at the cops out my window. What you been through?
Okay, I don't know what this beat is.
I grew up on King Bully in the 80s with the Raiders and Ronald Reagan.
I don't know what in the hee-haw hell this beat is. I really wasn't expecting to go this way. I'm on the fence about it because it's dumb creative, but I was definitely expecting a different vibe.
And it ain't been the same, so I got a chain. City of Angels. From LA, straight.
God damn, and they got Georgia and Mojo on it.
Hello, what can I say? What can I say?
My name is
Georgia Ann Muldrow on this beat is like the Midnight Train of Georgia, but like she took the Midnight Train to South Georgia, like Confederate flag Georgia.
My name is B to the L, U. I used to boo CDs, clothes, and stolen shoes.
That's tough. That's an interpolation of Jay-Z's public service announcement. The whole H to the OV. I used to sell snowflakes. Yeah, that's tough right there.
Wrecking Mike, selling weed, rolling shoddy. Made it out the
I like the
hood,
storytelling and the
surprised
imagery.
Yeah.
I'm bobbing my head, but I don't know if I like what's going on right here.
I never graduated, but I made it pretty far. Playing music in the car, you always hated. I know I could have been bigger than the hood, Cuba Gooding and Boys in the Hood, but I was balling in the little gym.
I like
Across the
that.
street from where they film Boys in the Hood.
I like the Boys in the Hood word association wordplay right there. I don't know about that one, man. That beat more so made me want to like raise cattle than bop my head. I will give it an X out. That beat is creative. The little banjo, which I didn't really care for, combined with the little vocal samples. Georgia Ann Muldrow, I don't know how you get around it. She don't really fit that beat. Like she's soul, but more like cocoa butter and fried chicken soul. This is like chitlins after a long day of working on the plantation type soul. So I ain't crazy about the beat. I'm cool with the lyrics. It wasn't the craziest lyricism. Blue can really get in some dope rhyme schemes and lyricism. The lyricism here wasn't nothing exceptional, but I do like the content. This song conceptually felt like a mirror to Below the Heavens, where it opened with My World Is, where Blue rapped pretty vividly about his upbringing. He did the same thing here, giving a lot of homage to LA. So I ain't crazy about the intro, but I don't hate it either. This is Undisputed. Alright, I like this. Those little vintage 90s styles are dope. I ain't one of them hip hop heads where every time I hear scratching I lose my mind, but that does fit the aesthetic of this beat a lot.
We talking top 5 greatest of all time. All rhyme first team, first round draft pick. Athlete, track meet, performed over rap beats. You asking me who's the greatest ever? I put the list together, it took me.
I like the first wordplay and then all the athletic imagery right there.
I put the list together, it took mad weeks, mad beats, severed or whatever.
I like this athlete 2-syllable rhyme scheme right here.
Who's more smooth, who's more clever? Who flows so the blues iller?
He has a ooh alliteration going on simultaneously too.
Just the number one champion, the sun. We talking
That's a
about
tough verse.
the one who won without a gun. I can make the sun run from the undisputed one to do it with tons of music. Catch me on stage for an hour running through it. Gun acoustic, you can spit.
Hey, this breakbeat right here is tough. It really reminds me of the breakbeat in Get Down by Nas, which is a sample of The Boss by James Brown. This ain't the same sample, but it remind me of it.
I catastrophically rip any topic I get. Soon as I drop it, you just hop on the deck, popping the disc like you're not gonna quit.
It's not gonna quit 4-syllable rhyme scheme is dope, especially because the last syllable of it, the is syllable, is what he started the verse with in a whole different rhyme scheme. This the lyricism that I used to from Blue.
You could picture me before each round, getting taped up in the back, doing
Bro,
stretches,
it's
shadow
a whole
boxes to
different
this
breakbeat
track.
right here. It's a different breakbeat from the one in the second verse, but this one is more like funk inspired.
Tell me the importance of the fight, as if I got any sleep last
I like the
night.
boxing
I'm mad
imagery right
tight,
there.
the elite counts down from 10. Broadcasters say they never witnessed anything like this. My life shifts.
Yeah, I'm feeling that song a lot more, dog. Hey, Exile is showing off the creativity right here. He took what was really on the surface a pretty simple boom bap beat. I do like the stabs in the main sample that was going on right there. Simple boom bap drums. But he found a way to take a beat that could have been really simple and made it really dynamic. The scratching added a dope element, and then the modulations into the break beats, and it was 2 different break beats on the second and third verse. I thought that was fire. Pure braggadocio from Blu, but what I really rocked with was the lyricism that he showed, and then the way that he stuck to that athletic theme. I'm between the first and the third verse, my favorite verse on here. The third verse was dope with the boxing imagery, and then the first one, I just like the wordplay on it. That's a tough song right there. This is smack. Hey, this beat is smooth.
Yeah, that's the game in the word. Play the game and get served. Leave you laying on the curb, mumbling your last words. Catch birds and serve them. Catch birds and serve them. Catch the words I'm slanging like the birds I'm banging.
If I'm reading into it right, I like that bird wordplay. Bird is I think that's a drug measurement for heroin. Well, I'm getting rusty on my drug link. I've been out on paternity leave, not listening to enough Griselda. But the serving bird is basically serving work. But then the bird that I'm banging, a bird in, I think it's East Coast slang, is slang for a desert eagle bird, desert eagle. So the bird, the first time he said it was drugs and then it became a gun. I like that.
At your G on CD, you turn it up and you crank it. That's the way that you thank him for the work on the bang. You even thank the producer and remember his name. I'm on my way to the...
All right, yeah, I'm tracking. So when he said work right there, it was a double entendre for work as in music product, but it also played into the earlier drug talk.
I play it cool with the bang. My shit hit like a wave. When you surf in the ocean, Logan in front of babes. Feel the boat when it...
I played it cool with the bang, Logan in the ocean. Logan is slang for a crib, which play into the bang line.
Pull a gun, dumb nigga, you dumb. You get hung where I'm from, the Wild West. Nigga, I'm Johnson's son, the wrong one to awake. I stay awoke to this day.
They're destroying this sound.
The poet broke it right over your face with the
Nice
face.
band with the old
Exile
sound.
with the crate full of records. Wreck the stage right after we get paid for the
He is
effort of the
flowing
place
right
up.
here.
The bass bump, something triumph. Friday came and I had to triumph.
I like that triumph wordplay. Triumph like win, and then try-im like try him. That's tough.
Iron tuck for the fire bust like a mic'd up. Psych bitch, I'm never wired up. Unless I'm wired up on for that fire. Fired up, cutting rappers
I
like
like
red
that wire
wires. Inspire
wordplay.
your luck.
Dog, he really penning right now. The wire wordplay where it was a microphone wire to a wiretap to the Bomb Squad cutting the wire imagery. And bro really snapping right now.
F-Dot to show you how the West rock, show you how to get pop. We not
Bro,
the
what
ones
is Exile on, bro? This beat change right here is crazy. It's dope hearing Vashawn in 2024. He could still be going crazy for all I know, but in that same era that Blu came up in, that late 2000s, early 2010s era, he was one of them ones.
We make a riot out of rally, make a scraper out of caddy, make a runner out your mama, make a dealer out
like
your
this
daddy.
Cali
Some live in the
imagery.
lower bottoms, never been to Portland,
drums
never
is
heard of
tough.
Tacoma. Mountains of marijuana, dispensaries every corner. The shit I smoke is the loudest, can wake you about a coma.
Nah, that was the one right there. Lyrically, dog, Blu spazzed right there. I think the lyricism was still on point, but then all the wordplay, the flips, the word associations, I really thought that wire line was really, really dope, but it was really entendre after entendre throughout. Plus his 2 verses had a lot more aggression than the other 2 songs. So it was a lot of braggadocio, but through the lens of gang themes, the drug themes, and the gun themes. But dog, as good as the lyricism was on that track, and it was phenomenal, the production from Exile might have one up them, bro. That beat was disgusting. Like, to go from the dang John Wayne type beat, Lil John Wayne, if you will, type beat on the first track, to the boom bap track, to the super smooth jazzy vibe. Exile really emptying out his clip. On that first beat, I really like the xylophones, and even though the guitar was kind of distant, I thought that was one of the better elements of this beat. And then the beat change, oh my goodness, bro. That guitar that was in the background pretty much comes to the forefront. The beat slows down a little bit, and then a dope feature verse too. I really like the LA imagery. I think it really just fit the aesthetic of the beat. That song is tough. Best song on the album so far. This is Homies. Homies over hoes. Do the homie.
Yeah, Fern, it was Los, but his name was different then. It was Most. It's a tie between Raekwon and Ghost, Red and Meth. It was
No, it is not. No, it is not. Ghost is not the lyricist that Raekwon is, and Ghost does not have a Cuban links. It's Raekwon, GZA. You can interchange those two, but he ain't even mentioned GZA. And then you got Ghost, and then you got Inspect the Deck. Like, you can really switch them orders too. We ain't even finna get into that. And then it's Meth.
It was bitches most definite, but this is for my niggas. It was Rock who got me
Told you it was
deeper in
homies over
religion.
hoes.
And it was Lil Diamonds
He
who
doing the
first
homie.
took me out of the country and showed me how to make major money.
Hey, Exile going so crazy on these beats. It's about to be some revisionist history on his first beat. I downplayed that first beat, but hearing the rest, bro, maybe I'm in the wrong. Because this man clearly know what he doing, but the whole beat is smooth, it's really textured, and I really like this super subtle and it's really muffled vocal sample.
Whole time I was more like Dallas. He introduced me to this rap shit, slapping Cash Money while he was playing Madden. I play it back in my head so he don't feel dead. I first heard X and Blue with my eyes red. It was my nigga Spliff who said you need to hear this shit.
Hey, who are these niggas? They done named about 50 people.
Even spitting.
I don't know who they talking about.
This is for my
Shout out to them though.
dogs, my squad, my team. Trying to work the dream, turn a thought into some cream.
You know what? I take that back, bro. I'm hating at this point because I know every time a rapper mention me, I ain't been mentioning no song yet. We gonna get there one day, but hey, whenever I get a tweet from a rapper, dog, they become my favorite rapper for like at least a month. So on that note, shout out to my favorite rappers, Danny Brown, No Name, and Mick Jenkins.
Listen, it was Tristan, it was Justin way before.
All right, bro, we overdoing it.
Praising deuces, ain't no truces, we was chosen. Ain't no choosers, Father, Spirit, and the
I
Son.
like the little
Holy
game talk right
Trinity,
there.
a trio. It was me,
I like the
Boog, and
religion
Chris.
talk.
We just buried one of my people, Jack. Favorite neighbor gang, Spody folk, busting slang. I was hanging with the
I like
ass,
his
Tiny
street
Monk,
talk more
Baby
than the
Gang,
last verse.
T-Bones.
My dogs, my squad, my team.
Yo,
Trying
these
to work the
watery
dream,
keys
turn a
right
thought
here,
into some cream.
I don't think they've been hearing the beat. It sound dope.
This is for the ones that used to be.
It's a fire modulation. All right, not my favorite song, but Exile going crazy, dog. Super texture beat. There was like 3 different layers of pianos. There was this organ sound instead of keys that was kind of in the forefront. And then there was this watery reverb piano that came in towards the end. And then you had this vocal sample. The beat was sick. Now, I could have did it without the roll call of everybody who grew up in LA. And then with the features, it was sounding a little amateur hour-ish for a little bit. I don't think either guy was on the same level as Blue, but the dude who had the last verse, I think he was a little bit better than the dude who had that first guest feature verse. I do want a little bit more lyricism from Blue, and I don't have to hear Pistol McFly and Cassius King. Cassius King got some good verses on a couple of Blue albums, so I'm gonna freeze on him. But I think Exile was good enough to carry. This is Sugar and Buttaz. Bro, the guitar right here is dope in and of itself, but for Exile to chop it up in the way that he's doing it, dog, the way Exile going off, they're gonna drug test him after the album.
Frontin', but your onion got the head under my stomach brick. Humping hips, but she blew my mind without sucking. Scratch off my bucket list, she not to push a
I
button,
like
bitch.
that.
But she pissed, wondering who I'm playing the dozens with. Don't you act like I'm fucking chicks, as if I'm fucking rich.
Hey, man, we all go through the same thing, huh?
Puzzle, but it doesn't.
I like the imagery, though.
All up in my business like the government. Trying to take a covenant that says I can't covet chicks.
Bruh spitting the I Ain't Touched That Chick anthem.
To double it, cut a rug
The I don't know what you talking about anthem.
like a DJ rubbing.
The bro, she my cousin anthem.
Had me coming quick when I seen her and her cousins kiss. Cuff the wrist.
Okay, I didn't know that was coming.
I walked here to tell you that I'll be 100%. Anytime you need me, I'll be running to you.
Man, if Blue don't get great value, see it on my headphones.
It's so tough to be upset and uncomfortable content, unconditional, I guess atypical mindset, equivalent to content.
She floating
That's
now.
how you get me. I swear you get me like this was a contest. When we vibe, baby, I can't deny. Yeah.
Hey, she brought it back together, dog. It started shaky. I don't like the male vocals. The girl, she sounded bad at first, but she sounded good now. I rock with that one. I don't like every single element of that song, but it was a lot that I liked. Absolutely love the beat, man. Exile, he ain't 5 for 5. He definitely 4.5 out of 5. This is another dope one right here. I really like the verse from Blue. The imagery and the details that he went through that conflict of his girl back home who was insecure because he actually was smashing on another chick. But I thought the way that he narrated that was really, really dope. Hey, Ray Khalil, she kind of surprised me, bro. She came in that verse sounding like great value, see it. But then she stopped doing the little stud singing, started rapping opening, she was floating for a little bit, and then she came back in with the vocals. Like the opening was sounding like Great Value said. This was at least Public's brand said. They were pretty high quality vocals, but I didn't love the chorus from Ahmed Anwar, and when him and Ray did the vocal harmonization at the end, she was really out singing him. I probably could have did without the outro. I probably would have preferred her on the chorus than him, and I probably wouldn't mind another Blue verse, but I still think it was a really solid song. The production's just been excellent so far. This is Gold.
Ain't a Rolex, but I got time. Better hold check.
Onward not a good enough singer to be carrying these choruses, in my opinion.
This one is for the shine, dedicated to those who go mine for mine. Try to stare at the sun and you go blind. I rhyme from the spirit, whether or not you hear it. My merits is solid 24 karat, and I wear it.
That's dope. With the way that he's going, I'm pretty sure Gold's going to be a symbolism for him. But I'm really rocking with his subtle, shining wordplay that he's had going on for this whole verse up to this point.
Haters and shine like I'm the creator with a chemical element found in nature. Some are out for paper, I'm out for what the crown is made of. Solid gold player, this is not for role players.
His braggadocio has been so tough on this album because he's been restricting himself to certain themes. Like on Undisputed, he had the athletic and boxing themes that he was bragging through, and here he's bragging through the lens of jewelry, but he's using all the jewelry references as entendres for his self shining.
Short in the Sunset Strip, with my sounds on hit. Not aware of the niggas in the next whip. The whole gang started shouting my name. I realized they were fans and not after my chain. I threw the peace sign up. My Jesus piece untouched. Looking like the new King Tut.
I like that verse right there. The storytelling was dope, and I like that little plot twist where I definitely thought that verse was about to turn into a Quentin Tarantino flick, but it turned out to be just paranoia and he actually had fans. I feel like that verse had a deeper meaning than just a story of fans following him, and he was more so just describing the fact that the way that he grew up leaves him with certain tendencies that don't mesh with the level of success that he has now, and all while still keeping that gold thing going on.
Up stagnant, gold on my chest is absent. Still claim my nieces on my taxes. A month behind rent, landlord is still asking. Like a botched BBL, I'm still half-assing. I go outside, start up my vehicle, see the oil bleed, rap shit.
That's fire. That's tough.
I mean, granted, understand nobody handed me shit. Any leap on the 10 freeway, we spot blue, his neck glowing. I'm a fan, but fuck it, I gotta do what I gotta.
Yo, this song is fire. This is giving me Long Red Hot, whatever the name of that album is, Long Red Hot LA Summer, something like that, of how vivid the storytelling was on that album. But I already peeped what's coming and like how it's coming together, where in that second verse, Blue was originally paranoid and thought he was getting robbed, but turns out it was fans. But bro came with an Uno reverse card on the third verse, and nah, bro, you definitely getting robbed.
Blow up upon release the shit jam, thinking quick on my feet. I just say peace like.
That's tough. Yeah, bro. Lyrically, this is the best song on the album. I think it's between this and Smack on what's the actual best song on this album so far. All three verses were phenomenal, dog. I really love how he started with just the braggadocio and the imagery about his chains and all his jewelry in that first verse, leading up to that second verse where he gets into the storytelling, walking out of the house with all his jewelry on, feeling like he's about to get robbed, and then the switch to, I guess it's Nana's verse where he's rapping from the perspective of one of those fans, and turns out he actually was about to rob Blue and his intuition was right. But then the gun jam, and so he throw a piece so you end on the same part in the second verse as you do in the third verse, just from two different perspectives. Amazing three verses. Exile still going crazy with the production. It had this 70s TV sounding sample with some more texture to it. Then I like the pianos that it transitioned to at the very end of the song towards the outro. Only thing I'm not feeling from this song is Ahmed Anwar. The actual lyrics, like the content of what he was singing about, was fine because it played into the themes of the song, but bro's vocals just, it's not that good. It's not. Fire song though. This is Chuck's.
Cause I hit him with a, and then with a.
His bass guitar is dirty. I love Crooked and Corrupt being on a song called Chuck's.
Lace my chucks up, bust in the building, holding my gun up. Giants in my pockets, yo, I'm trying to get my bucks up. Tough luck, growing up, times was rough and hardships.
I like how he playing with this sound.
If it wasn't for hip hop, the shit you're uttering. I rap more than gift shops. If you tryna get
That's light, Blue. You above that.
sounding like someone that's played out, I came out with the debut record below the heavens, but above the clouds is where
I don't know what that instrument is called, but I like that little West Coast whistle, that 90s sound from songs like Next Episode. It's dope because this song doesn't have a typical West Coast sound, but you still see the West Coast elements like in space.
sucks up.
Imagery's been on point throughout this whole album. The braggadocio here had more of an aggressive street vibe to it. It was kind of like he brought that street aspect of things up to kind of highlight that he didn't have to go that route, but it still get off that West Coast gangster vibe. I'll take a simple chorus like this over Ahmad Anwar trying to be Los Angeles County Idol any day of the week. I like that Snoop Dogg Lottie Dottie sample hidden in there.
We on in LA, it's child's play. Got my Chuckies on. I made a way. I outsmart haters with hard labor. Get large paper, they call papers. Slicing you demons with a
Oh
dart.
my goodness, back to back with his. He about to say Darth Vader right here, but it's Darth Vader 3-syllable rhyme scheme.
But like Darth Vader, drawing guns like an art major at the art gala. It's a Charles Taylor.
Draw guns like an art major is simple, but I like it, especially with how it's playing into the rhyme scheme.
Players, all sparkers and purple like the logo on my chucks. It's all stars in my circle. The Cobb
I
squad
like
is
that. I
eternal.
like that. That's so fire. It's all stars in my circle, the circle with the logo that says all stars at the bottom, which play into the name of the song. That's fire.
Balls in Infernal, this the diary of an inmate. It's all bars in my journal. Yeah, I'm writing what I live in.
He was going back to back with that 3-syllable rhyme scheme, and then he turned it into a slanted 6-syllable rhyme scheme in those last couple of lines. That's lyricism, dog.
You know what that is, and me, my gun's loaded. Black truck Taylors with the tongues folded.
Hey, is Black Chuck's the West Coast version of Black Forces?
Half-inch cuffs, chucks laced up. I lace my chucks up with the effervescent fat laces. Great
Hey,
blue and plus I got
rough
that
loading.
effort. I'm giving niggas anaphylactic shock. I was born to live and die. You gotta live, born to try and live and die. I don't try.
I like that live and die wordplay right there because they call Los Angeles to live and die, or at least it's based off that saying to live and die in LA.
When the homies come
Yeah,
through,
I think
homie,
the
no
right
one to
here.
survive. Listen, I'm sick of these. Hold on, God, give me the motherfucking mic, nigga. I'm sick of the way these niggas act. They act like bitches, like snitches, telling them everything that.
Chill out. Yo, that's hard, dog. Yo, they had Corrupt going crazy, bro. He rapped into the next song. I don't think I ever heard anybody do that. But yeah, that song right there is fire. Exile is yet to miss with a beat. Just seeing a Corrupt feature on there, I thought we were going to get a vibe you can crip walk to, but Exile ended up going that smoother vibe, but still staying true to the LA sound. I think Blue really brought it with his verse. I love the braggadocio from him, but man, I think the features might have stole the show a little bit. At the very least, they matched Blue. I thought Crooked had an excellent verse. The All Stars in My Circle line by Crooked was the best line on this song, and I really love how he was playing with the syllables on his verse. Corrupt didn't necessarily have the exact same lyricism as Crooked and Blue did, but dog, he made up for it with the imagery, the griminess, the way that he just kept heating up and getting more and more aggressive with his delivery till they had to stop him at the end of the song. He still didn't stop. He bled over into the next song. Fam, that was hard. He had my favorite verse on this song, which I really wasn't expecting coming into it. The middle of this album has been really, really sick. I think overall this album has been dope, but if they can stay at this level right here, we might be in for something special. This is Suge Knight.
I was kicking it, spitting raps with Infinite, dipping in the 909, trying to get some, living with Double O and this big
Bro,
brother.
what is Elzai on, bro? Not Elzai. What am I on? What is Exile on? It could have been a Freudian slip though, because at the time that was really heavy into Blue's work. I had Elzai as the best rapper at that time, and then Blue is the second best rapper. So, don't know all you talking about Elzai in this review, but hey, we here.
There was a couple collectives that I would represent, like Bridgetown, still in my crew with Defect and Definite. One day I start working on
Yo,
the
these spacey ethereal sounds should not go with this beat, but it works.
drop 20 tracks in 2 days. No coke, no weed, broke, yo, going for broke.
20 tracks in 2 days. I mean, that could be one album.
Then one of them said, yo, you know I work for Death Row. I think I should tell Suge I found something special. I said, let's go.
Hey, boy, who would have guessed that Suge Knight and Death Row would come out looking better than Diddy and Bad Boy?
Be a week next week.
Side side note, they can bring back the firing squad for Diddy, dog.
He said you practice your raps, don't trip, my game is true. But whatever you do, don't tell him my name is Blue. He laughed, how lame is you? I laughed, not lame is
I like that. That's hilarious, dog. Whatever you do, don't tell him my name is Blue, because Suge Knight is a blood. That's fire.
Suge wasn't there when we got to the office, so
Probably
the
for the
people in
best.
charge told us to pass out waters. Left eye was signed, that's when Crooked was signed, and Corrupt was the VP. I knew it was my time. That reminds
Bro, this story hasn't even gone nowhere, and I'm hooked, bro. That's a testament to how good of a storyteller Blue is.
PM, Suge arrived. We've been waiting since 12 o'clock for me to get signed. He finally gives us attention. Let's meet this kid.
Hey, bro, if anybody ever do that to you in a job interview, bro, have some self-respect, bro. Leave.
Telling me he's sick. I hope
If you was broke up to that point, bro, it ain't gonna hurt you to keep going. When you get broken up, you'll have something to rap about.
when I got home and told my crew what was up, they said, fuck that. We fuck with RBX, and he said, fuck that. Don't fuck with them, I fuck with them. And you don't want that. Don't even.
I like how you mentioned Corrupt and Crooked, and they were on the last song, and then he mentioned RBX, and I already looked, he's on the feature on the next song.
But before that plan fleshed out, I let Exile. After that, I put my best out.
Bro, this run of tracks from Suga and Buttaz to Suge Knight, really from Gold to Suge Knight, is crazy. I think this is another really fire song. Did not expect the beat to go the way that it did. It started with this boom bap drum loop that almost could have stood on its own, but then you get that locker room clap sound that's not even part of the percussion, it's part of the harmony, and all these weird spaced out sound effects. And then you get the most vivid storytelling about nothing. That verse was the lyrical version of like when you and your homies just be on a dummy mission. Like y'all ain't get nothing done, y'all ain't do nothing, but y'all had fun. Like that story really didn't go nowhere, but even then it still felt like it had a climactic ending with him talking about going through all that trying to get signed to Suge. But then the whole punchline of the story is, all right, he ain't signed to Suge, but he met Exile and the rest was history. I think that's dope, and I think that's a dope way to end it. I like the little subtle reference to the other guys who are on this album. And then my favorite line of the whole song was, don't tell her your name is Blue. Tough song, excellent storytelling, another dope beat. This is The Ominous World.
Where every day of his life the end of the
Hey,
world.
this bass line remind me of the bass line to the song Twins by Big Pun.
Who gon' give a fuck? No one, cause no one will be here to hold it up, blow it up. Fuck it, tell the government suck it. I ain't kill it in your dome. Now you gone for no reason. Now we on to the precincts. The free the beast unleashed.
More
Running wild in the
storytelling.
streets, hunting down the police. When the fucking world blow up, you gon' see gun stores first. Bomb the White House last, like the match might as well go out. Having a blast.
The story just pure anarchy. I don't even know if that's the right word, but he got this dystopian landscape that he's painting right now.
Now you wanna blow this bitch up with me on it, be honest. You don't want me flaunting my women.
Blue describing what Trump supporters think gonna happen if Kamala get elected. Only thing he ain't mentioned is dogs. I love the Nas sample.
I'm John the Baptist leading you to Jesus. Cause when the fucking world blows up, you'll probably see him. Fucking point, we couldn't even heal ourselves. Push the button, watch Mother Nature explode. When will the fucking world blow up? Who knows?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, the story kind of moving in place right now. He ain't really advanced the story from the first verse, probably the first minute and a half to where he is now. I can appreciate the world blowing up imagery right here, but I gotta call a spade and point out what I ain't really feeling about the song. Hey, he should rap over this. That song had potential, but I don't think it came together the best. I think it's somewhat of a letdown with it being the pseudo title track here, and with how dope I think it started off at. On that first verse, I like where it was going, where he was getting tired of the government on him, and he ended up rebelling, starting a riot, freeing dudes out of jail, hunting down the police. I can get behind some police hate, dog. Bruh said my name is Blue, but I ain't with no thin blue line. But then I think the song just stalemated after that. You got into a whole bunch of imagery about what you gonna do when the world blow up, and world actually blowing up imagery, but it just seemed like the song sat there and didn't progress anywhere, and it was still really vague by the end of the song what any of this stuff really meant. Like we just running up and riding for no reason. You know, you can make whatever you want about the meaning, but the song just really didn't progress after a minute and a half. Add to the fact that it was a 5-minute song, even though a good portion of it was just the outro, and that was a dope beat to me, but that was the most basic beat on this entire album. You had some simple boom bap drums, the bass line was was fire. And I like the little radar sound, but I don't think it was enough to carry the song like some of these beats have carried the rapping. When the rapping wasn't, I ain't gonna say the rapping was bad, but when it wasn't elite like it has been on some of these other songs. So not my favorite song on here. I think that's the worst song since Suga and Buttaz. It don't suck though. This is a song called Precipitation.
Cause you know a little rain is always good for your health. Precipitation, when sun dries the dirt on the earth.
Hey, this is fire. I peep what they doing with this song. This song has a really similar sample to the song Dancing in the Rain off Below the Heavens. And then you got the names of the songs referencing each other, a song of precipitation or a song called Precipitation, Precipitation Rain, and then Dancing in the Rain.
Sun dries the dirt on the earth, and the clouds soak up so much water that it bursts all the hurt in
the sun has been a recurring theme throughout this album.
Full getting soaked in the rain, expect the weather to change, especially when he's the one you expect to be blamed for the gray sky killing my daytime. I can't lie, I wish I was yay high.
I like this weather imagery.
Precipitation to cool down the civilization. What we need is reconciliation, and I'm still waiting. Still patient.
Good luck,
I know a
buddy.
system that can heal the nation.
So this does give a little bit of context to the last song, The Ominous World. I will say this is a little bit late into the album to be getting into a concept, but hey, we here now.
Here in Cali, we need it when the heat is burning down forests or when riots are storming. Sometimes I wake up in the morning when it's
I like the riot storming wordplay playing into the whole precipitation thing.
brainstorming, dropping condensation on the rotten nation in need of a little rain to wash their hands and faces.
That's the exact same sample that they ended The Ominous World with. All right, that's a good song. It's definitely a cool off from the middle half of the album where the pace was just really, really high. This song contrasts a lot of the songs that came before it in that the beat was definitely more in the typical lane for Exile and Blu. I already said how it was really similar to the song Dancing in the Rain, but it was a good beat, slow, laid back, and lyrically this was by far the most positive song on the entire album. I do like the imagery that he had and the symbolism that he used with the precipitation being cleaning like the wrongs of the world, the ominous world that he described in the song before. I will say it is pretty odd that we're getting into kind of a concept, this ominous world concept, you know, starting 9 tracks into the album with only 2 more songs after this. This could just be these 2 songs the only thing that has this concept to it. And you can definitely tell these songs were intentionally linked from the content of them and the fact they had that same outro, the same sample in the outro. It's a good song even if it's not the most interesting song on here. This is Valley of Kings.
It all started at birth. My arrival put a scar on the earth. When I was born, I seen the stars burst, and they weren't fire. Cursed with the gift to be blessed. Even when I had less, I manifest and turn words into flesh. The best.
I like the
never got an A on my
lyricism. It's some of the sharpest lyricism he's had in the last maybe 4 or 5 songs.
but fail, even if I fail subjects. Double XL cover for the
Playing with his
freshman.
ex
Warner
sound.
Brothers contract out.
Bro, back when Double XL used to mean something.
Fights with police, etc. For the record, I've been arrested 5 times. Damn.
For the record, I've been arrested 5 times playing on criminal record.
Going out of my mind until I heard the hook from the message. Like catch that.
I like how he had the Nas samples earlier in the song, and then he had the message line reference to Nas' song The Message.
That crown feel pride on me. Broken wings in the city of angels, we all wanna find out.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I can give you better vocals than this.
I kinda feel like the young boy who learned everything, only to be stricken with amnesia. I'm not the man I used to.
Amnesia is a reference to his album that came out in, I think, either 2009 or 2011.
And my fear of falling off is getting deeper. At night I can't sleep, I toss and turn. When I think about the people that I've crossed and burned, I was lost and I turned in the wrong direction, trying to find myself somewhere in my song's reflection. It was dark and hectic.
So he mentioned this album at the start of the verse, and he probably mentioned a couple more, but I don't know his catalog off the top of my head. And then he said he's seeing himself in his song's reflection. That's Chris writing right there.
Off the record, had to go to jail and get on medics to find out where my head is, cause this road was not where I'm heading.
I mean, it's cool. Like, the album is slowing down, and I ain't gonna lie to you, the album slowing down is the cousin of the album getting boring. Like, we ain't at that point yet, and thankfully there's only 1 song left. But it's a really stark contrast in the energy between the borderline experimental tracks on the entire, like, first 2/3 of the album. The last two songs, while the production has been good, you just got a lot more creativity on the other songs. Now, Exile, he's still on point, but you just got the bright keys right here, no drums, another laid back beat. Now, thankfully, that does come with a more introspective verse from Blu, and he picked up the lyricism. Like, even though he had the storytelling in the last couple of tracks, he didn't have the really intricate lyricism that he flashed at other points throughout the album. So while I don't love this song, there's not one element in this song that I just really dislike. It's more so just the pacing and the sequencing and where this song falls within the whole listening experience that I'm not a huge fan of. Cool song in a vacuum though. Let's go ahead and close this thing out with Love Is Blue. It ain't a Blu album if you don't have a song with Blu in the title.
Love is blue, love is blue, love is blue, love is blue.
Same intro as the first track.
Love is here.
Love is here. Love is
These
blue.
horns are
Love is
fire.
me. The same love is in you too. Love is in me. I see that I am not from this world. You can tell the way the prayers get forgotten in this world. I promise this world, I'ma give my mama this world. After I change and make a sequel like a communist world. Let the opposite of hate circulate around this bottomless world. I got them all in my palm. I'm not dropping this world. No matter how.
The album was slowing down in the last couple of songs. They definitely picked back up here. The horns by themselves bring a lot of energy, and his emphaticness with his delivery, it seems like the urgency has picked up a little bit in his rapping. I'm rocking with it so far.
When it costs so much money to see
he
you
is
sing,
floating right now.
It's greed. When will truth lead the lead? Eat up beats daily and keep my peace. Maybe I've reached my peak lately. I think it seems crazy. Love is
hey, he ended with a 5-syllable rhyme scheme right there, back to back. He ended on a strong note because he definitely picked it up with the lyricism.
Love is world domination. Proclaim it the president of the world, not a nation. Stop giving up sections of this world off to Satan. Leave the world contemplating about the world we facing. That'll be amazing. Rattle free the cages.
Hey, what they say, dog? It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. Hey, I really went rocking with that opening track. D-Boy turned it up in the fourth quarter. Well, I ain't gonna say they turned up in the fourth quarter. They turned up in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter because I wasn't really feeling the last couple of songs before that. But yeah, this one was it, dog. I really like this beat. It wasn't as out of the box as a lot of the beats were on this album, but those horns sounded amazing. I really like the modulation that Exile had where they changed to just the vocals and then they changed to just the bass line. The bass guitar was really a prominent instrument on this last half of the album. I really didn't have no point in saying that. I just said it. But yeah, dope rapping from Blu, and I think conceptually it really ties a nice bow on the album, even though he only started the concept a couple songs ago. Overall, man, this is a good album. You know, this is not on the same level as Below the Heavens, but it's another very solid contribution to Blu and Exile's list of projects together, and also a good entry in Blu's catalog as a whole. Now, if we start with the positives, as great as Blu is as a rapper, I think the MVP of this album is Exile. That first beat wasn't really for me, but everything out there was excellent, man. Especially in tracks 2 through 8. I'll probably even throw 9 in there. You really had no idea what was coming next. You had some boom bap, you had some borderline experimental, a lot of smooth flows, a lot of LA influence throughout the album. I think the production was a 9 out of 10 at least. Blu, for the most part, was very good as well. Any downsides to his rapping didn't really come from a technical perspective. I think technically he had a couple songs on here where he wasn't trying to flash the most lyrical miracle rapping, especially when he was getting to some of those more storytelling songs or some of the more conceptual songs in the last third of the album. But in general, I thought he had a lot of good wordplay. All his braggadocio was interesting because he would take these different themes that he would apply to his brags. And then I like the concept songs, the storytelling songs that he had on here. I thought Gold was one of the most creative songs where he based a whole song around jewelry, and then they got into that storytelling about him getting set up for the robbery. The Suge Knight joint was good. Chucks was one of my favorite songs of the album. And speaking of Chucks, man, I think those are the best two features on the album by far, man. I love the performance by Corrupt and Crooked. But now on the downside, I went too crazy about all the features on here. The vocals were a mixed bag. All the Unwar features was the bad part of the mixed bag. But you had a couple of good vocal performances, especially on that last song. But I didn't even say that all the features outside of Crooked and Corrupt weren't good. Fashawn was pretty strong with his feature, and then Nana on the song Chucks that I was just talking about. And then the only other negative is I don't think the beginning of the the album, and then the last 3 tracks before the last song were the strongest of the album. So it kind of took a second to heat up, and it really started cooking in the middle of the album, and then it slowed down a little bit before having a strong ender. So not a perfect album, but definitely a quality listen. Like overall, I'm feeling like it's a 7.5, 7.75, maybe on like the best day where my kids acting right and sleeping through the night and my girl just in a great mood. Maybe on that day it's a gentleman's 8, but it's a pretty dope album. If you want to check out my other review of Blu, click here or click this video right here.